Last week, we talked about how you and Larry had won the tag team championships. You defeated Rick Steiner and Bill Kazmaier in the finals of the World Tag Team Championship Tournament at Clash of the Champions. You took advantage of that rib injury, that steel plate right in the ribs that Larry and you had caused earlier in the show. We also talked about your opponents for Halloween Havoc, Firebreaker Chip and Todd Champion. But before we get to Chattanooga, let's take a look at the build to the tag match. And we start on October 5th. It's you and Larry in your Wrestling and Enhancement match on October 5th, 1991 edition of World Championship Wrestling. Chris Sullivan and John Douglas. All right, those are two names you didn't think you'd hear today on the show. They had their spot taken by the fabulous Freebirds who had attacked them before the match. So the Enforcers and the Freebirds picked up where we left off last week, talking about the different teams you guys worked against. And in our first clip of the week, let's take a look at what went down in this unsanctioned match, Arn. Here we start, clip 1, October 5th, 1991.
Chris Sullivan. And ladies and gentlemen, their opponents at a total combined weight of 500 and
Well, Gary Capetta tried to introduce the World Tag Team Champions, Anderson and Zbyszko, who are making their way to the ring. But there's a stereo DDT from the Birds. Here come Anderson and Zbyszko. And they see what we're seeing right now. The Freebirds have just destroyed Sullivan and Douglas, and the Freebirds await the Enforcers.
And here we go!
This is not a sanctioned match. This match was not signed for the Freebirds to take on the Enforcers. We know that the Birds won the World Tag Team Championship. Zbyszko and Hayes locked up. Well, this match may progress, fans, but I will assure you that it is not a sanctioned event.
Well, I don't understand this. I mean, John Douglas and Chris Sullivan had the opportunity of a lifetime, a non-title match with the Enforcers, and now the Freebird, wham, sticking their nose where it doesn't belong.
Garvin with those right hands throws Zbyszko back in the ring. And now Hayes and Zbyszko are paired off in this very impromptu, unofficial tag team event.
I mean, I don't understand this. This is not a sanctioned match.
Hayes went for the DDT, but the tag was made. It was a blind tag. Anderson is the legal man in there now with Michael P.S. Hayes.
Like, for example, tonight in Lakeland, Florida, all the matches sanctioned by World Championship Wrestling. This is not a sanctioned encounter. How can you have the Enforcers and the Freebirds on TV without sanctioning?
Hayes went for the ride there, trying to grab anything he can. He's got Anderson down the sunset flip, but from behind comes Zbyszko. We talked about this matchup several weeks ago, that the Freebirds were negotiating for a tag team event. Well, that match has been signed, but this is not it. They just did not want to wait to get their hands on Anderson and Zbyszko.
Very impatient. The fabulous Freebirds did not want to wait for their World Tag Team title match. And here you see now the Enforcers and the Freebirds. We got more than we bargained for tonight, Jimbo.
There's the sleeper by Hayes.
And Anderson's in big trouble here.
Good counter move. He got him up. Wasn't sure if he could get him up, but he did. Belly to back suplex, and Anderson makes a very timely tag to Larry Zbyszko.
Well, it serves the Freebirds right. Wham! Beautiful neck breaker by Zbyszko.
There's a lateral press. He's going for the pin, and referee Randy Anderson is in a very precarious position. He's officiating the match as if it were sanctioned. Again, it is not.
And here you see Zbyszko now work. Oh, man! Cheap shot by Jimmy Jam Garvin.
The Freebirds are as proficient at breaking the rules as are the Enforcers. And the Freebirds, former two-time tag team champions, certainly want the opportunity to wrestle for those titles once again, as Anderson with a front face lock on Hayes and a cheap shot on Garvin.
Which draws in Jimmy Jam Garvin and allows Anderson and Zbyszko the opportunity for that classic double-team tag team wrestling.
Zbyszko, the living legend, with the vertical suplex on Michael Hayes, and now he'll go for the cover. He got two, and that's all this time.
I think anything that happens to the Freebirds tonight, they got coming their way. I mean, after all, who do they think they are interrupting my speech at the beginning of the show?
Hayes trying to fight out of the corner. Nailing Zbyszko and Anderson, but Anderson with a shoulder block to the midsection. And what a competitive, physical matchup these two are having, completely unscheduled. Anderson going for those elbows. Hayes able to avoid them and make the tag.
And Garvin's a fresh man, and he's taking on both members of the Enforcers.
Now all four men have entered this contest. Garvin sends Anderson in, and Garvin is caught with a vicious elbow to the back of the head.
Anderson's getting ready to finish him off.
All right, that left hand by Hayes. He's got him cradled, and Anderson is going to be pinned. Well, the Freebirds are going to get the 1, 2, 3, but remember, this is an unofficial match.
This match never even took place. How could it be a 1, 2, 3?
I don't like it, Arn. That was unsanctioned. I don't like seeing you take the pin there. But, dude, that was fast-paced. You talk about, never slowing down on that match. Did you like these sprints every once in a while? It wasn't that traditional 15 minutes, slug it out kind of match.
No, I did. And the fact that they kept stressing it was unsanctioned, I like the pace going because the longer you have to think about it on a situation like that, well, if it's non-sanctioned, why is the referee treating it like a regular match? And you start to ask all these questions. It's wrestling. That's why.
Yeah, that's right.
That's why. You would get away with some stuff. And, like I said, those guys, they were a very good team. And it's unfair to compare them to the original Freebirds, but they were having a good time. They were good buddies. They were getting to be partners. That alone is worth its weight in gold.